Welcome back to another episode of Crafty U, the Abilene Public Library's craft show to help adults bring out their crafty side. And today I am going to show you how to make this super cute rope basket from some very simple supplies. So let's get started. The first thing you'll need, obviously, is a basket. This is a laundry basket, but I'm going to show you how to make it on a smaller scale so it fits on my table. This just came from the local dollar store. If you have a basket lying around, you can use that, a pail, a bucket, anything really to help you get the rope basket look. Take off this so you can see inside that it's just the basket. I'm going to move this off our table. So you'll need a basket, and then you'll need some rope. This was extra rope that I had. This is a sisal rope, but you can use any kind of rope that you have lying around. If you don't want to use rope, or if you have an allergy to the natural fiber, this is 100% cotton rope or cord that you could use. You could also braid fabric to go around the outside, or contact paper, or anything really to get the look that you are going for. Now I have 100 feet of cord, so it probably is not going to take all of that, but it might. So you want to make sure you have plenty of rope on hand. You'll also need some scrap fabric. I got this at the remnant counter at the craft store, the fabric store here in town, but you could use anything you have lying around, any sort of extra fabric, or what I have in the big basket is a pillowcase, but you can use that as well, and that's what I'm going to use for this one. You'll need a pair of scissors, and you'll need some hot glue. That is how we're going to attach it to the basket. If you don't have hot glue, you could use some other type of glue, like white glue or like a contact cement, but the hot glue is the fastest and it dries the fastest. If you use other types of glue, it's going to take a little bit longer for your project to finish. So, hot glue comes in a variety of shapes and sizes depending on your hot glue gun, so you need that as well. For a big project like this, and especially for the larger basket, you will need quite a bit of hot glue, and the longer pieces, or there's one that comes in a roll, is a little easier to work with, so you don't have to stop every 5 seconds and put in a new glue stick. But I'm going to use the smaller ones because we're using the smaller basket, and it's a little unwieldy with the big ones. So let's get started. All right, I find that it's easier to go from under the lip to the bottom of the basket. If you want to start at the top and go down, because the basket is shaped like this, it's a little more difficult to make sure it's in the right spot. So start with it upside down. Get that extra cord out of the way. And if your cord, like mine, comes in a roll like this, it's easier to leave it kind of sitting like this, so you can just unroll. You can unroll the cord as you need it from the roll, and so it doesn't get twisted or knotted as you're working on your project. Okay, so the scissors are for when you're done to cut off the extra. So we're gonna start with the end. I'm not sure if you can see that, but rope that you buy or that you buy by the yard usually has a piece of tape on the end, and you can cut that off if you want to or leave it on. I'm going to leave it on because it's going to be covered by the fabric later. So hopefully I'm going to be able to do this where you guys can see. So I'm going to start right under the handle of my basket here. We're going to put a little hot glue right there. I'm going to see that. And again, this is plastic, so be careful you don't melt all the way through it with your hot glue gun. So I'm going to start it a little bit. You let it dry just a second, and then as you go around, you can add some glue every so often. Or if you want it to be a little more sturdy, you can glue every inch or every oh gosh, I'm not even sure what that's called, every section of your basket. You just keep going around and around. Let's put a little bit here until you get all the way back to where you started, which is right there, because then what you're going to do is just continue on, but right on top of your cord where you started. And you'll just keep going around and around and around. Again, securing it every so often so it doesn't come off. If you need it to be more secure, like depending on what you're using it for, I plan to store like bathroom towels in mine, but if you were going to store something like pet toys or clothes, it really doesn't have to be all that secure. But if you have pets in your house as well, you may consider the type of rope that you use. This sisal rope is excellent for kitty paws, so you may think about that if you have pets in your house. Okay, so we're just going to keep going all the way around and all the way around. Pull a little bit more off. I'm going to go maybe one more time around so that you can't see the blue. The other basket that I used was white. So it's really just if you want parts of it to be seen or not. It's up to you. It's your craft. You can do what you like. Okay, so I got one more little bit and then we're almost back to where we started at the bottom under the lip. Back. So I'm going to cut off the cord right there. Get the extra out of the way. We'll glue this down. And there's our rope part finished. Now you can adjust as necessary, and if you just like to leave it like this, you can leave it like this too. But now we're going to put the fabric in. And if you're using the scrap fabric, you need roughly about a yard-ish. And then you can just glue it down as you go. But I'm going to use the pillowcase because it's already round and it's about the size of my basket open. So you'll take your pillowcase and open it and then turn it inside out. So this is the front side of the fabric and that's the back side of the fabric. With the one in my big basket, I didn't need to do that because it was the same on both sides. But this one has more of the color and the pattern on the basket itself. Excuse me, on the fabric itself. So that, if you don't like that, and that looks a little crazy, you can take it off. And then we're going to just fold it up a little bit so that it fits a little better inside the basket. In. Open it. There we go. So that sits a little more flat in the bottom of your basket. And there's that. So you can see it looks a little better. If you don't like how this hangs off, or if you don't want your fabric to be removable, I would like mine to do that so I can wash it every so often, depending on what I'm storing inside. What you can do, because most pillowcases, pretty much all of them, already have a roll of fabric at the top, the hem. So let's see if I can do that, see? So what you can do is undo just a little bit of the seam or even cut a little slit in one, and you can put elastic in the top, or you can add a drawstring so that it makes it sit a little more securely on the basket. So no matter what you put in there, it's not going to fall apart. Or you can just go ahead and glue it down to the basket if you don't feel the need to do that. So let's scooch this one over a little bit. So you can bring the big basket back out. So let me fix this again. Again, I used a pillowcase here as well, and it just fits perfectly on the top, which turned out nice. So there you go. That is how you make the rope storage basket. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.